and welcome from wherever you join me today. It's me again, Jim Black, from the Three Hats Stage Media channel, the channel that hopefully provides entertaining content media for all the world's stages. This is a Pause for Thought edition, where I take a look at one of my favourite movies, see what messages we can take from it, and how we could use those insights in today's busy lives. All the movies I review come from over the past 3 or 4 decades. Some you may know and some you may not. They all come from a book or screenplay, have a great cast and a fantastic soundtrack. Today's movie is no exception. As you can see from the lightbox just to my side, it's about a boy from 2002. It's from the book by Nick Hornby, and it's adapted for the screen by Peter Hedges, Paul and Chris Weitz. There's an all-star cast. You've got Hugh Grant, who plays Will Freeman. You've got Nicholas Hoult, who plays Marcus Brewer. Tony Collette, who plays his mum Fiona. And supporting cast is good too. Victoria Smurfit, who plays Susie, Rachel Weisz, who plays Rachel, and Natalia Tenner, who plays Ellie. So I ask, is it right? Every man is an island. And once you open your door to one person, can anyone come in? Let's get right into this review and find out. This is another one of those favourite movies of mine, and I do have rather a lot. And my wife does catch me watching them over and over again. But, you know, it's all in the name of the research for the channel, honest. Are we islands? Or are we a group of islands all living together? And we've all got doors, you know, metaphoric or proper doors. But the trick is knowing who to let in. But how can you possibly know? The movie looks at this all the way through. It follows 2 characters and the supporting actors fit into the stories as and when they're needed. You've got Marcus, who's a lonely 13-year-old boy with teenage angst. He's at a new school and he's living with his mum, who's got some anxiety and depression. He's got his own thoughts, he's got his own ideas, but he doesn't have anybody to relate to. He doesn't understand why his mum's so upset all the time, because, you know, she's got a good job that she likes, music therapist, so she brings in money, which gives them food to eat. She's a little bit eccentric, but then, you know, I think we all are in our own ways. Will, however, he's his own mind. He doesn't have a job, he doesn't need one. He lives off the royalties from a song that his dad wrote, which was a Christmas #1 back in 1959. He's got a nice apartment and car, and he's got all the things that a bachelor would have around. CD, TV, DVD player, espresso coffee makers, pasta makers, some of the things he doesn't even use. And some of those things, some people won't even know what they are, because they're very old technology. Will goes on a date with Susie. It's a date where they take Susie's little girl and Marcus, who's having the day with Susie because Fiona, his mum, is a friend of Susie's and she's just having a day on her own. It involves going to the park. There's a large loaf of bread and a dead duck. This all changes when we take Marcus home from the day out. We find that Fiona has taken an overdose. Is it deliberate? Is it accidental? We'll never know at this point. She's rushed to the hospital and the amazing doctors and nurses save her. And then we move on to the next day when Fiona comes home, and this is where some difficulties arise. Because after all, she's not dead, but she did leave a note to say that she was killing herself. So this changes things again for her and Marcus. Will, however, feels that this sort of relationship and these sort of issues are not for him. So he's going to move on. So sorry, Susie, but it's time to go. Marcus thinks, wow, Will's on his own. My mum's on her own. Let's get them together. And it doesn't work. They're not the right people for each other. But then who is? The story moves on and Will and Marcus form a relationship. It's an older brother, younger brother, or father and son. After all, Will's got no children and Marcus hasn't got a dad that's around. They see each other quite a bit. Marcus goes round after school And Will thinks it's great because he can buy him things, which, you know, sort of settles his mind as to who he is and what he's doing in his life. When Marcus loses his trainers, Fiona finds out that they're still having this sort of relationship where they're seeing each other, which she thinks is something different. After a confrontation in a restaurant between Will's friend, and Fiona and Marcus, and there's a lot of shouting and raised voices, we find that Will is not an island, even though he thinks he is. He'd like to be Ibiza, by the way, because that's a fun island to be. He gets invited for Christmas at Marcus's and Fiona's. It's a good little scene and you should watch it. It's got some great lines in. It's got like Shake Your Body, which is a Moroccan prince, but it's not really. And it's got a dead duck. And we're not having duck for Christmas dinner either. But again, watch the movie and you'll find out what that is all about. The story moves on and the relationship grows. They still see each other a lot. They're forming a bond that Marcus needs and Will needs. As the movie moves on, another relationship for Will. Rachel with her teenage son, Ali. Ali goes to the same school as Marcus, in the same class. They don't get on. So what will happen there? Anyway, the relationship doesn't quite work out and we move on to the final scenes of the movie. At the point where Marcus and Will split up because things are said, because they lose that interest in each other. But do they really? They think they do, because we all say those things that we shouldn't say, and the next day we want to try and take them back. Anyway, it moves on to the school concert where Marcus is singing. There's a great rendition of Roberta Flack's Killing Me Softly, in which Marcus and Will perform, and then there's a great shot just at the end of that where somebody throws a green apple at Will's head to get him off the stage, but it's only a painted soft ball. Honest. Anyway, no more spoilers on, and as usual, the end of the movie is the new beginning. We need to look at our islands. We can be islands, and we can go on them when we need to, but we should always go back to mainland. It's one of the best places to be. You've got a support network around you. Marcus says, after all, 2's not enough, you need 3. If somebody drops off, there's always somebody else there to rely on. But it doesn't stop you having that little island every now and again, to take up your hobby, you know, to have your thoughtful moments, to read your books, just to get away from it all. The question about opening a door, which is what Will did to Marcus, is a different thing. You've got to let somebody in to find out if they're right for you. So take a chance. And if it's not right, then close the door on them. The trivia in this movie is really good too. There's a big Arsenal flag for the British people, that's an English football team, in Ali's bedroom. Nick Hornby, who wrote the book, is a great Arsenal fan. There's also a bit in the movie where Marcus says that he would buy his mum everything if he was as rich as Haley Joel Osment. Well, Toni Collette, who plays his mum, was in The Sixth Sense. She played mother to Haley Joel Osment. Another bit of trivia for you is that the line "No Man is an Island" comes from the Bon Jovi song Santa Fe. The music in this movie is Badly Drawn Boy. About a Boy is a great song. You've got to let me in or let me out. But the soundtrack has got some other tracks on it from other artists, and you should listen to that as well. I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I want to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. To see where my thoughts and inspirations come from, take a look in the bio below where I've included some links. If you click on them, they'll take you through and you can see the movie, the soundtrack and the book. If you want to join our community, then subscribe to the channel. Also hit the notification bell and that'll let you know when I upload again. Comments are always welcome, drop them below and I'll get back to you as and when I can. I've been Jim Black for the Three Hats Stage Media for this edition of Pause for Thought. We'll see you very soon.